Blessed are those who find wisdom, those who gain understanding, for she is more profitable than silver and yields better returns than gold. Powerful stuff, right? Welcome to By the Pages, everyone. Today we're taking a deep dive into the book of Proverbs, all those wise sayings attributed to King Solomon. We're going to see what timeless insights we can unearth, for navigating this crazy thing called life.
It is fascinating how this ancient text just grabs you with all those vivid images, you know what I mean?
Oh, it totally draws you in. And one of the first things you encounter is this idea of the fear of the Lord as the beginning of knowledge. What does that even mean for someone like today trying to apply these teachings?
Right. Well, it's not about cowering in terror or anything. It's more about having this deep reverence for something bigger than yourself,
So acknowledging there's a moral compass beyond just what benefits you personally.
Exactly. It's like recognizing a moral order to things. That connects to another key theme, actually, the way Proverbs personifies wisdom.
Oh, yeah. Like how it portrays wisdom as a woman, calling out in the streets, seeking those who will listen.
Right. It's like wisdom's not just sitting around waiting to be found. It wants to be discovered.
Demanding to be pursued, even.
Yeah. Proverbs even compares seeking wisdom to searching for hidden treasure.
Makes you think it requires effort, huh? Dedication.
And that the rewards are valuable, just like treasure. Think about it. Wisdom guides you away from evil, helps you make good decisions, and ultimately, it leads to a life of peace, security.
That peace and security sounds pretty good to me. Proverbs also talks a lot about, the power of words, doesn't it?
All the time. It contrasts the tongue just compares it to choice silver. But a lying tongue? That's fleeting. It's urging us to, to think before we speak.
Especially in today's world, right?
Yeah.
Social media and everyone's got an opinion.
Exactly. And Proverbs cautions against all that. The gossip, the slander, speaking without thinking.
Which is amplified online when words can just spread like wildfire. Speaking of actions, Proverbs also has quite a bit to say about diligence versus, laziness.
Oh, for sure. It uses this great image. The ant, who's always working hard even without someone watching over him.
Always prepared.
And on the flip side, there's the sluggard, the one who's always got an excuse and ends up suffering the consequences.
Definitely not the role model, right?
Not at all. Diligence leads to prosperity, success, slothfulness, poverty, and want.
It makes you think about how we approach our work and even our personal lives.
Absolutely.
Now, Proverbs also goes deeper, right? It talks about guarding your heart. What does that actually mean, practically speaking?
Yeah, well, it's not just about outward actions. It's about cultivating inner purity, being vigilant, against all the negative stuff. Envy, pride, anger, the stuff that can lead us to do things we regret.
So it's recognizing that real change has to start from within, getting your thoughts and intentions aligned with your actions.
Right. And that focus on inner character is another timeless message. Relevant for anyone, really, who's trying to grow as a person.
And alongside personal growth, Proverbs also talks a lot about family.
So much. It's central. It highlights how important it is for children to honor their parents, listening to their guidance, respecting their authority.
And on the other side, it's calling on parents to raise their kids with both discipline and love.
Which is not always easy to balance.
Definitely not.
But so important for healthy development. This focus on familial roles, it might seem traditional to us now, but the idea of mutual respect and care, that goes beyond any specific culture.
It's universal. And then there's that famous description of the virtuous woman in Proverbs 31. What are the qualities there that you think really stand the test of time?
It's easy to get hung up on the specifics, a woman managing a household back then. But those core qualities, diligence, kindness, resourcefulness, strength, those are always going to be admirable.
It paints this picture of someone who's both capable and caring. And those qualities, they're valuable for anyone, right? Regardless of gender.
Exactly. It's saying that true virtue, it goes beyond just appearances. It's about integrity and strength of character. It's amazing, really, how Proverbs uses these vivid character sketches to get its point across. The virtuous woman, that's just one example.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It makes me think about another theme that pops up. The idea of wisdom as a tree of life. What's the significance of that metaphor, do you think?
Well, it gives you this sense of nourishment, growth, even shelter, right? Like a tree provides all those things.
Sustenance, protection.
Yeah, and in the same way, wisdom, it offers guidance, support. It helps us flourish,
It's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
not just about knowing stuff. It's about integrating it, making it part of who you are.
Exactly. And speaking of sustenance, Proverbs also has a lot to say about, well, about wealth and
Oh,
possessions.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Doesn't shy away from that.
Yeah.
What's the overall message, would you say, about material wealth?
Hmm. Well, I wouldn't say Proverbs condemns wealth, but it definitely stresses that true riches, they lie in righteousness, wisdom, and a good name, stuff. Possessions, they come and go. But character, integrity, those are the lasting treasures.
It's about putting first things first, right? The things that really shape us, make us who we are, how we contribute to the world.
Exactly. And that brings up the topic of honesty, truthfulness. Proverbs sees those as the foundation of a righteous life.
Yeah, so many verses about lying, deceit, false witness, all that stuff.
Right, because it just tears things down. It destroys trust. It breaks down relationships. Proverbs contrasts the enduring nature of truth with how fleeting lies are, how destructive their consequences can be.
Makes you think honesty is not just some personal virtue. It's like essential for a just society, a moral one.
Absolutely. And right alongside honesty, there's self-control.
Mastering our anger, our speech, even our thoughts, right?
All right.
Why is self-control so crucial in this, like, Proverbs view of a good life?
Well, think about it. Self-control lets us make rational choices instead of just being ruled by our emotions, our impulses.
Giving in to every urge.
Right. Proverbs warns against all that. The anger, the gossip, the envy, the resentment, all that stuff.
Makes me think of that verse. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city.
Powerful, right. True strength comes from mastering yourself, not controlling other people.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And that mastery takes effort, doesn't it? Intention.
Oh, yeah. It's a process. It's learning to manage your emotions, point your actions in the right direction.
And all that ties into how we treat each other, doesn't it? Proverbs is big on kindness, generosity, compassion, all that good stuff.
Oh, definitely. Encourages us to be forgiving, to show mercy, to be generous, especially to those in need. Contrast that, with selfishness, cruelty, lack of empathy, the kind of stuff that hurts everyone.
It's more than just being nice on the surface. It's about recognizing that our actions have an impact, right?
Right.
That treating each other well, with respect, it builds something good. It makes for harmonious society.
Exactly. And it connects to that idea of cosmic justice that runs through Proverbs. What you sow is what you reap.
Karma.
Yeah, kind of. Our actions, they create ripples, affect not just us, but everyone around us.
The good reminder that we're all connected, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that our choices, they matter.
They really do. It's also pretty amazing how Proverbs covers almost every situation you can think of. Relationships too. It gives guidance for friendships, family stuff, work, even how to act around those in authority.
It really does cover a lot. It talks about solving conflicts, giving advice, money matters, even like choosing the right friends, how to behave at a party. It's pretty comprehensive.
I know, right? Some of it might seem, specific to their culture back then, but the main ideas, integrity, respect, wisdom, those are timeless.
They apply to everyone, everywhere.
Yeah, and that's what makes Proverbs so powerful, It speaks to those universal truths.
It's amazing how these ancient proverbs can still, hit home for us today, give us guidance for figuring out this crazy modern world. It really is remarkable how relevant it still is. Proverbs has something to say about pretty much every aspect of life, like a guidebook for just being human.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It speaks to these, core truths about us, about human nature, the stuff we all struggle with no matter what time period you're in.
We've talked a lot about character, honesty, diligence, self-control, but Proverbs also talks a lot about humility.
Oh, for sure. It's always warning us about pride and arrogance, like a reality check, reminding us we're not the center of the universe.
It's something bigger than us at play.
Right, and we got to approach life with a little humility, a little respect.
So it's not about putting ourselves down. It's more like recognizing our limits.
Yeah, admitting we don't have all the answers. Humility is about being open to learning, to growing, knowing we can always get better.
And that there's wisdom to be gained from other people.
Yeah.
Which kind of ties into the advice about choosing our friends carefully. Proverbs warns us about hanging out with the wrong crowd. Right?
Yeah, the classic idea that you become who you surround yourself with.
Makes sense.
Proverbs is all about finding those wise, righteous friends, the ones who will, challenge you to grow, to be better.
It's we have a responsibility to choose our influences wisely, Because those relationships, they really do shape us, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. And along with that, there's this emphasis on perseverance. Like Proverbs knows life's going to throw curveballs, but it's like, don't give up, keep going.
Yeah, like that image of the just person falling down 7 times and getting back up every time.
Right.
Failure's not the end. It's a chance to learn,
To grow.
to get back in the game.
Exactly. It's about resilience, grit, determination, overcoming those obstacles. True success isn't avoiding failure. It's, what you do after you fall.
It's about getting back up, stronger.
Yeah. It's not just about being smart or talented. It's about that inner strength, the kind that lets you weather the storms. And that's like so relevant today, don't you think, when everything's so fast-paced and there's all this pressure to succeed?
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, haven't we? I mean, from fearing the Lord to choosing our words carefully, diligence, self-control, humility, Proverbs has it all. It's like this incredible guidebook for living a life with meaning, purpose, integrity.
It's been awesome, really, exploring all these ideas, seeing how they still apply to us today.
And if you're looking for like a roadmap for that kind of life, I definitely recommend picking up a copy of Proverbs. You might be surprised at what you find.
It's a book you can keep coming back to. Always something new to discover.
And with that, we come to the end of our deep dive into the book of Proverbs. Thanks for joining us on this journey.
We hope you found it worthwhile.
And if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe to By the Pages for more deep dives into, well, pretty much any book you can think of. Until next time, happy reading, everyone.